All right, let's dive into something that's completely changing our world. We're talking about how a technology that used to live in boring server rooms has turned into a global supercomputer, one that's tackling some of the biggest challenges humanity has ever faced. Let's get right into it.
It's a good question, right? Kind of a riddle. I mean, on the surface, what could possibly connect them? You've got pure speed, you've got our health, and you've got trying to figure out Mother Nature. So what's the link?
Yep. The secret ingredient for all of them is the cloud. The incredible designs, the groundbreaking research, the mind-bending simulations, it's all happening inside massive, powerful, and totally connected data centers all over the world.
So how on earth did we get here? To really get it, we need to rewind a bit and see how cloud computing went from this super niche, expensive thing to an everyday utility, almost like the electricity powering your home.
You know, this idea of sharing computers isn't brand new. It actually goes way back to the 1950s with those giant mainframe computers. But the real game changer, of course, was the internet in the 90s. And then, boom, 2006 happens. AWS launches its Elastic Compute Cloud, or EC2. And for the very first time, anybody, and I mean anybody, could just rent raw computing power whenever they needed it without having to buy a single server.
So what is the cloud, really? Well, officially, the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology calls it a model for on-demand access to a shared pool of computing resources. But forget the jargon. Just think of it like this. It's not a thing you own, it's a utility you plug into. It's basically computing power on tap.
And this quote from Ascent Court just nails it. This wasn't just some tech upgrade. It was a democratic revolution. All of a sudden, a tiny startup or a small research team had access to the exact same computing firepower as the biggest companies in the world. The playing field was leveled.
Okay, so now that everyone can tap into this power, what happens when you throw the absolute biggest, baddest, most demanding computing jobs on the planet at it? Well, that's when you enter the world of high-performance computing.
High-performance computing, or HPC, is pretty much what it sounds like. We're talking about using huge clusters of computers, all working together, to solve problems that would take your laptop centuries, literally centuries, to figure out.
Now, you might be thinking, why not just build your own giant supercomputer? Well, running these monster jobs on the cloud has some killer advantages. You get what feels like unlimited capacity, you can fire up a whole cluster in minutes instead of waiting months, and most importantly, you get your answers faster.
And really, that's the whole point. It lets us tackle problems that we used to think were just impossible to solve. The sheer scale you can get right when you need it means that scientists and engineers can now ask bigger, bolder questions than ever before.
All right, enough theory. Let's see this stuff in the real world. Where is all this incredible power actually making a difference?
Let's start with a field called computational fluid dynamics. It sounds complicated, but it's basically the science of simulating how things like air and water flow around objects. So think about it. Instead of building dozens of super expensive physical prototypes for a Formula One car, you can run thousands of simulations in a virtual wind tunnel right in the cloud. This lets designers tweak and perfect the aerodynamics, saving millions of dollars and cutting down development time like you wouldn't believe. Okay, next up we have something called finite element analysis, or FEA for short. This is all about simulating how solid things react to forces, like stress, heat, and vibrations. And the impact here is just huge. Car companies use FEA to run thousands of virtual crash tests, which helps them build much safer cars. And architects? They can see if their brand new skyscraper design can handle a hurricane, all before a single piece of steel is in place.
And this last one, this might just be the most important of all. We're talking about the life sciences, where this technology is completely changing what's possible for our health.
The raw power of the cloud is being used to screen millions of potential new drugs, to analyze our incredibly complex DNA, and to develop brand new treatments for diseases like cancer and, yes, COVID-19. It's speeding up scientific discovery at a pace we have never, ever seen before.
So how can one thing, the cloud, be so good at all these wildly different, super demanding jobs? Well, the secret is to think of it like the ultimate virtual toolbox, and the key is to always pick the perfect tool for the job.
Just look at this breakdown. It's not one size fits all. If your aerodynamic simulation needs tons of networking between machines, you pick hardware that's built for that. If your financial model needs insane single processor speed, you pick the one with the fastest core. And if you're simulating molecules,
You grab a machine loaded with GPUs to speed things up. You match the hardware to the problem.
And you know what? The flexibility goes even deeper. It's not just about picking a tool from the toolbox anymore. Now, it's about choosing the fundamental building blocks of the computer itself.
That old one-size-fits-all approach is dead and gone. Today, scientists and engineers can pick the exact processor, the exact architecture that gives them the absolute best performance or the best price for their specific job.
And this choice is incredibly powerful. You need that raw, single-threaded speed? You can go with an Intel processor. Need a great all-around workhorse for heavy computing? AMD's got you covered. Or maybe you want amazing performance for your open source apps and you want to save some money? You can choose an ARM-based processor like AWS Graviton.
And that right there is the whole point. This unbelievable combination of access for everyone, nearly infinite scale, and total flexibility. It's like pouring rocket fuel on the fire of innovation. It speeds everything up for everyone.
Which really leaves us with one last, fascinating question. For decades, our biggest ideas have been held back by the limits of our computers. But now, that limit is basically gone. So if you had a supercomputer in your pocket, what problem would you solve?